Our cover story tonight is from the Wagah border. Wagah, equidistant from Amritsar in India and Lahore in Pakistan, is the silent border, the frozen border. The minimal activity is stark evidence, in fact, of the worsening in India-Pakistan relations, which have brought transit and trade to minimal levels. And the most dramatic activity is the orchestrated ceremony each evening when the flags come down at sunset. It's a ritual where border guards from both sides engage in rapid maneuvers, trying to kick as high as possible in a display of what can only be called political gymnastics. But you see, for the rest of the day, this border remains desolate and lifeless. Today was an exception. Have a look at these visuals. They are from this morning itself. The Wagah border was buzzing with Sikh pilgrims going to the sacred Sri Punja Sahib Gurdwara, which has the marks of the hand of the great Guru Nanak, founder of the faiths. In an anomaly, this holy shrine of Sikhs was left on the Pakistan side as a result of partition, and reports say at least 2,470 pilgrims have crossed the border into Pakistan since Saturday. What for? To celebrate the festival of Baisakhi, which marks the first day of the crop harvesting season. This year, Pakistan is holding a grand celebration, a number of events at various Sikh shrines. Why is that? What exactly is Islamabad trying to achieve through all of this? We will decode Pakistan's intentions in just a bit, but first, let's tell you what all it has planned. Have a look at this map. On the 12th of April, the pilgrims from India will be taken to Gurdwara Sri Punja Sahib, located in the Rawalpindi district. This Gurdwara houses the handprint of the founder of Sikhism, Guru Nanak. The pilgrims will then be taken to Gurdwara Dera Sahib on the 15th of April, located in the city of Lahore. This shrine commemorates the spot where the 5th Sikh Guru, Guru Arjan Dev, was martyred. And on the 16th of April, the pilgrims will go to Kartarpur Sahib. This is one of the holiest sites in Sikhism. It is located along the Ravi River in Pakistan's Punjab province. So it is an elaborate tour spread across the length and breadth of Pakistan's Punjab province. It has been organized by the Evacuee Trust Property Board, a statutory body of the government of Pakistan, which looks after the holy places of minorities. And according to reports, it has partnered with the Shiromani Gurdwara Prabandhan Committee of India to organize this grand event. Now, this pilgrimage is a dream for many Sikhs. This is perfectly understandable, for they are unable to visit these sites on a regular basis because of the tough visa regulations, due to the fraught ties between the two sides. But why has Pakistan suddenly become so welcoming towards the Sikh pilgrims? There are two possible interpretations here. It may be an attempt to woo a certain community, or it may be an effort to send a larger signal to New Delhi, a signal that Islamabad wants to diffuse tensions with New Delhi. And it helps to look at some recent developments. You see, throughout the last 3 months, Pakistan tried to talk peace with its hawks speaking like doves on multiple occasions. Take this report from February, for example. This is when the former chief of Inter-Services Public Relations had said that dialogue with India is the need of the hour. In fact, he asked Pakistan's intellectuals to engage with India, to try to create a space for themselves within the Indian society. And a month before this, In January this year, the Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif gave an interview to Al Arabiya where he asked the Indian Prime Minister to hold serious talks and resolve the bilateral issues between the two sides. Let me just quote from his exact statement. "We had 3 wars with India, and it only brought more misery, poverty, and unemployment to the people. We have learnt our lesson and want to live in peace, provided we are able to resolve our genuine problems." Now, we don't know what made Shehbaz Sharif say this. Were Pakistan's domestic compulsions the real reason? The unprecedented financial turmoil that it is facing at this point? It could be. After all, have a look at the state of affairs in the country. In the last 2 weeks, a total of 21 people have lost their lives in stampedes at food distribution centers. 21 deaths. That's the level of desperation and despair in the country. Have a look at the state of the Pakistani rupee. It stands at 281 against the dollar. 281. Last week, it fell to an all-time low of 287. And if I speak of the national debt, a new report saying the country has to pay a whopping $77 billion in the next 3 years, most of it to Saudi Arabia and China. And if I speak of the forex reserves, they stand at an embarrassing $4.2 billion. That's the amount of money Pakistan has as savings. So my overall point is simple. Does Pakistan expect India to help in return for gestures like letting Sikhs visit shrines there? There have been expert voices in Pakistan, by the way, talking common sense that trade with India would bring the food prices down. But since it's Pakistan that we are talking about, one cannot help but be cynical. The country, after all, has a track record of biting the very hand that feeds it. It has a habit of promising one thing and doing the exact opposite. So every gesture that it makes, every negotiation that it pushes for, must be taken with a pinch of salt. Because the one thing that Pakistan will not discuss is how to end the terrorism its agency ISI sponsors in Jammu and Kashmir in India. This is where every effort towards peaceful dialogue comes apart. But in the meantime, we wish our Sikh brethren a happy Baisakhi and a safe and sacred pilgrimage. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.